the real agenda of educating black children.
We just got to make sure that people get it and know how to use it. It's for the coming generations. We're hoping that you won't, but somehow or another, go back and dig up. Now, they're going to start hiding it. Critical race theory is out here. They're going to try to eventually use that to kind of shut it down from you, hide it from you, and archive it from you. I know in Detroit UD school, there was a brother, a doctor who, I guess about 15 years ago, who had a lot of information about the slave letters, the slaves who did that, who documented their life as a slave. He gathered all these things and put them in the archives, and guess what he gave the archives to? He gave the UD Mercy on living as in 6 round. So they got it all archived. And you know how it is about archives. You got to have permission. First you got to know that they're there, and then you got to have permission to get it in there. They shut it off. I'll give you a prime example. When Shackled was doing his research, and he had access to the archives in Germany and in Europe and France and England. When they found out what he was doing with the information, they said, okay, you can't have access to the information. So they will hide it. I heard somebody once say that Putin had a lot of black, the Russian archived a lot of black information. Okay, again, this is learning. A lot of black information. And he is hidden under the Russian flag, under Russian territory, and he kind of leaked it out a little bit. So it's like, okay, so it's there. You got to know how to dig it. And then lastly, on that same issue, everybody talks about Trump. I talk about him too. But the one thing I think people need to know and to remember. See, I always used to tell my students, if you can't remember, you can't learn. Remember when they first wanted to do the impeachment of our President Trump? He said something that a lot of people, I asked people today, do they remember he said it? And most people go, they roll their eyes up trying to search their memory and they can't find it. But he told them, if you all don't back off me with this impeachment, I will release the Kennedy files.
Tonight, President Trump getting caught up in his own JFK conspiracy after deciding not to release all the documents tied to the assassination. Senator Chuck Grassley, a Republican, tweeting, CIA wants further cover-up. POTUS stop. The president's decision coming after an appeal from the CIA and the FBI that releasing certain files could put the lives of some of our spies in danger. Among the secret files, an unconfirmed tip that on the same day of the assassination, the Cambridge News, a paper in England, received a mysterious call instructing a reporter to call the American embassy in London for some big news. That alleged call came 25 minutes before Kennedy was shot.
Meaning John F. Kennedy. Now, I was born at the time. I was living at the time of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. I remember the Warren report of a man with bullet that could... There are 3 people in this room. You can't see them over there. There are 3 people in this room. That if I was John F. Kennedy, the bullet hit me this way, came out, made a right turn, hit that person, turned back around, and bounced... This one bullet now. Turned around, hit 2 other people, and came back around and did a face, and then ended up blowing John F. Kennedy's head off. Now that's what the Supreme Court Warren Commission said that there was a magic, called the magic bullet theory. Now, if you've never seen it, there's a movie called JFK by Oliver Stone. Check it out. But anyway, I say that because now Trump used that as his whole card. He said, if you don't back off me, I'll release the Kennedy files. And ever since then, they've been giving that Trump whatever. That's why Trump can be crazy. If you think about it, that's why he can be crazy. Because ordinarily somebody like Trump, what he's done with January 6th, what he said, grabbing the coochies.
Maybe it's a different one.
Better not be the publicist. No, it's her.
Yeah, that's her, with the gold. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
Go ahead.
always good if you don't fall out of the bus. Like Ford, Gerald Ford, remember?
There's a little bit down below. Pull the handle.
The people, my people are so smart. And you know what else they say about my people? The polls. They say, I have the most loyal people. Did you ever see that? Where I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn in the past few hours, as thousands of supporters of President Trump stormed the US Capitol building, venting their anger at the victory of Joe Biden in the presidential election. They forced the evacuation and lockdown of Congress itself, where lawmakers were all set to approve the election result. Shortly before the clashes, President Trump had addressed his supporters near the White House, telling them that he would never accept defeat. Within the past hour, President-elect Biden called on Mr. Trump to tell his people to go home, and within minutes, that was indeed the message delivered from the White House. We'll be live on Capitol Hill shortly. First, we'll have this report by our North America editor, John Sopel.
The peaceful transfer of power, the cornerstone of American democracy, seemed a highly abstract concept today, as Trump supporters clashed with police as they tried, and succeeded, to storm the Congress, where America's elected leaders had gathered to certify the election victory of Joe Biden. Earlier, in a rally outside the White House, Donald Trump encouraged his loyal base to fight to overturn the result of this bitterly contested election.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole... That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country.
I mean, somebody like Trump ordinarily would be out on his ear. But they're letting him, keep the files on the logo. I don't know what's in those files. Could be the kidney papers in those files. I don't know. But this nation was under a lot of heat back in 1963. And that assassination. I mean, you had to kind of live it. Our young people could not fathom what that was like, living in that era with that assassination. But Trump brought it out of the woodwork. In fact, supposedly they hid the file until 2039, I think. They closed it in 1965 or 64. And it's supposed to have been buried and wasn't supposed to be able to be open like a time capsule until 2023. By then, most of the people and most of the players should be dead. Mitch McConnell's still alive, so I guess they're going to hold it a little longer. But he did that. And because he did that, he's still a viable candidate. I mean, just think about it. How can a man like Trump even be in the running for what we learned about social studies? Checks and balances. How the government, the legislature, the judicial, and the executive branch is supposed to be working. You study this in social studies. How a bill became a law. You study this in social studies. But now you see that's all out the window. So even what you've learned in school so far, you got to damn near challenge it. That's what critical thinking, critical race thinking. I know you all should have seen the picture where the artist did the critical race thinking picture. If you've not seen that picture where there's a white arm with a roller, a paint roller, and he's whitewashing a picture of our ancestors. Remember, see Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King. There was another face on there. I think Malcolm was on there. And he's up there racing. Well, this is what they want to do, especially with the digital age. If they take away the books, people, then you're subject to the digital age. They can put anything they want on that digital age, and they can subtract anything on there. They went from digital to We see it in analog. I don't know if you all may, again, you got to connect the dots as we learn these things. Analog, TV, radio, it used to be, well, they couldn't control that. You know, anybody can get on CB radio and get on analog and boom. Hard to do. It's hard to go back and capture. It's hard to keep safe. But with the digital world, man, have you not seen the new AI photos of your people on Facebook? And everybody take a look at that. I mean, you got to look at that. All of a sudden, you knew what the person looked like. But all of a sudden, now they got boom, boom, ba, pa, bing. It's like, wait a minute. She don't look like that. He don't look like that, really. But the digital world can let them even change the face of your oppressor. They can put any face they want to, anywhere they want to. This is what you all have to be. Because then how you know that that's actually the person you're looking for? Like one person commented, hell, if I'm looking for you, I'm going to have trouble finding you because you look like Sasquatch, but on Facebook you look like woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Rihanna and Beyonce all roll into one. These are the things that, as your group, as you mature, be mindful of this digital camera. Be mindful who controls the digital world. I mean, I know you all are fascinated by it, but learn from the, again, keep your books. They can't do anything about the books. If they shut the power out, you can still read a book. You can still control. And writing, hand-to-writing skills, best way to learn. Okay, the AI is going to be your biggest challenge, artificial intelligence. But don't forget the OI, the original. That computer is trying to copy what we know. Please keep that in mind. They're trying to copy what is original out here. This is a human computer. This is your computer. You don't have to worry about download, blackouts, unless you did. Now, if you die, you got a brownout. You definitely don't worry about it. But your information system is right here. You don't have to worry about batteries, being plugged in, being able to get on the Wi-Fi, N5, or knee-high, whatever. This is what they're trying to do artificially. Please don't let that go too far. Please be mindful of the importance of trying to maintain the connection to the past. Maintain connection to true education. True education goes here. Not in these iPods, FPods, digital cameras and whatnot, computers and laptops, drop tops. All right, be mindful. Because that's what they're after now. The last frontier will be the inner workings of the human mind, in my estimation. Okay? And if they can get you to, if they can wire you out, I think, in fact, did somebody not just do, and you all can check this out on your own, did not somebody just do an artificial connection where they can actually put a USB attachment to the back of your head and you can plug directly into a computer?
The realm of brain-computer interfaces, or BCI. In this video, we're going to talk about technologies that provide a link between mind and machine, and a future where our brain's electrical signals become the language that enables us to interact with computers, overcome disability, and tap into the limitless potential of the human mind. Commanding machines by thought or getting an implant to restore and possibly even enhance brain function might seem like the stuff of science fiction, but over the last few decades, scientists and engineers have made breakthroughs that are bringing us closer to this remarkable reality. BCIs have been used to control robotic arms, drive vehicles, control computers, play video games, and communicate. With the influx of talent and money flowing into the field, it's clear that BCIs will be a part of our collective future. As such, it's essential that we engage in informed conversations about BCIs to ensure that they benefit everyone.
Elon Musk announced the first human patient has received a Neuralink brain implant, and the procedure was apparently successful. Musk said the individual was recovering well, and initial results show promising neuron spike detection. Bridging the mind and the machine, BCIs can be broken down into roughly 3 types of devices that collect the brain's electrical signals: non-invasive, semi-invasive, and invasive. Non-invasive models rely on electroencephalography, or EEG, by placing electrodes on the scalp of the user, usually in the form of a skull cap. In 2016, neurologists at UC Irvine were able to help partially restore a paraplegic man's ability to walk with a non-invasive BCI device. In semi-invasive BCIs, the electrodes are placed either subdurally or epidurally, either beneath or above one of the protective membranes surrounding the brain and spinal cord respectively. In 2012, a semi-invasive BCI known as BrainGate 2 was able to allow a patient to serve herself a cup of coffee with the help of researchers from Brown University. And then there are invasive BCIs, where microelectrodes, thinner than a strand of human hair and possibly smaller than the length of an insect's antenna, are inserted directly into the brain tissue. With the size of materials in use, human hands are unable to perform this delicate surgery. In the case of Neuralink, their surgical robot, R1, implanted the N1 Neuralink's BCI in a human being. An invasive system increases the fidelity of the signal, and implanted BCIs are capable of recording the action potential of individual neurons, also known as spikes. This means more generalized sets of actions are possible, such as controlling a computer cursor on screen or decoding intended handwriting, allowing an increase in the speed of communication compared to point-and-click typing.
Are they not working on that right now as we speak? Okay, that's more than cyborgs. That's more than Android. That's a real Android. All right, these are the kind of things that they're trying to do. Now, everybody looks at the past, and the past is cool. Sankofa, go back and learn. Go back and recover your information of that. But I've done enough of that. I'm 70 years old plus a couple of days. I've done enough research looking at the past. My biggest thing is, what is the future going to bring? Where are we going for the future? Anybody can look at the past and do hindsight. Hindsight is 2020, whatever, 2040. But the future, can you envision things? How do you see yourself? Where will we be? What will be our challenges? These are the things I'm trying to get you all to turn around and see also. History is great, okay? But the future is the mystery.